I used to rush art. My relationship with art as an adult has always been rushed, always been monetized, and as I progress in my slow living journey, I've learned that not only do I want to rebuild my relationship with art, but I want to rebuild it in a patient, personal, and mindful way. So here's my start. Let's do a little art haul. By the way, I cannot believe that I'm sweating at 8:30 in the morning. The high today is 96 and we're in September. I don't know what to say anymore. But anyway, I am trying to push forward despite me being sweaty. Let's start with the things that are pretty obvious, the ones that you saw in the intro. I got some canvases. So this one is actually on the smaller side. It's 11 by 14. I got this one for Ian actually, so he wanted to experiment with some painting as well. So this one's actually his, but this big one, this one is definitely not even gonna fit in the frame. It's 20 by 24. So it's very, very big. If you know anything about me, if you've been on the channel for a very long time, which thank you so much if you have been, I worked with watercolors usually, or I used to just paint with watercolors exclusively, and I paint on very, very small pieces of paper, like postcard size pieces of paper. So this is definitely something I'm not used to. It's definitely going to be a challenge, and it's canvas, so you'll see some other stuff in the haul that explains the canvas, but it's definitely going to be a challenge for me, and I'll show you where I'm going to put this piece once it's finished later on in the video. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting challenge, and I'm excited. I've never painted on a canvas before, at least I don't think in my adult years. I did major for a year in art when I was in high school, the random fun fact, and maybe I did then, but I can't remember. It's been such a long time. Anyway, let's move on to some cool like paint sets. So this one is not acrylic, this is actually gouache. I picked this up actually quite a while ago, but I never opened it. I was just having one of those moments where I was like fixated on getting gouache because, like I said, I've worked with watercolors historically, but recently, I have been really enjoying the way that gouache looks. Like when I watch other people use gouache, I really like the opacity of it. It's just a little bit more deeper, a little more vibrant in comparison to watercolors, and I want to try my hand at that. I want to see if I end up liking this more than watercolors, because I've only just been using watercolors. So it's going to be a nice, interesting little switch up from what I'm used to. I'm not going to be working on this anytime soon because I have this giant canvas that I'm going to be working on, but stay tuned. This may be like a 2024 type of project. But I also have this little palette. It's very, very basic. I'm probably going to use this for the acrylics, maybe. I'm not too sure. I'm still researching on the acrylics, which I'll show you in a second, but this might be good for that, or this might be good for the gouache as well. I don't know. Actually, now I remember why I got this. I got this because we were gifted like these big ceramic, I think they are, skulls, and we needed something that were deep, that had like deep divots, so that we can put a lot of paint in here so that we can paint those skulls. So the skulls are like, they're skull size, they're pretty huge, and you have to paint the entire thing. So that's what I got this for, but it could be useful for the acrylics as well. Now, speaking of acrylics, I got myself another acrylic set. By the way, the gouache set is from Winsor & Newton, and I'm pretty sure from what I recall when I was big in my art days, Winsor & Newton is a good brand, so I went all in with the gouache, but I definitely did not go all in with the acrylics. I am scared of acrylics because it's not known territory for me, at least not in my adult years. I don't really know how to use them. I can't remember how to use them. So I'm starting with something super, super cheap and basic. I got this on sale during the long weekend just to see what I can do with them. And I got them in the most basic colors, just the most basic colors. So I also am going to be experimenting with mixing colors. So I think I need to get like one of those mixing things. Actually, I might have one. I might have one from a while ago, but one of those like, they look like spatulas almost. I don't even know the name of it, but you can mix paints with it. So I think I have one, which will be great. And there's kind of like a guide on the back. Amazing. We'll see what happens, but this is going to be used on that giant canvas that I got. Again, I'll show you where I'm going to be putting that. I have some random, very cheap like acrylics that I got on sale a while back. I think that's it. These are actually for Ian because, again, we're painting like these skulls that we were gifted, and I think this is his color palette. So we'll see what happens with that. Oh, this one was mine. Surprise, surprise. I got like a brown. So I think I'm just gonna paint the skull in like one color. So that's that. Let's see what this is. I can't even remember. Okay, so this is a brush cleaner used with water. It looks like almost like a putty or a butter. I don't even remember picking this up, but here we are. I have it. We'll give it a go. I'll do some research before I actually use it. And then I always have to pick up. I always have to pick up a little notebook whenever I'm in Blook. They have so many notebooks and I become absolutely fixated on all of them. But this one is actually like a little baby watercolor paper thing. Not that many in there. Maybe I will try doing like little miniature pieces with the gouache in here, especially because I need to be learning, and so I don't want to be learning on a big piece of paper, so this will be perfect with the gouache. And then the last thing that I have in here, pretty sure some paintbrushes. Yeah, so I have some synthetic brushes. Of course, I try to get synthetic, and these are for the acrylics. Now, these acrylics were initially bought for the whole skull project thing, but I may also use them for my big canvas piece that I have been talking about. Oh, look, there's a tiny one here too. Perfect. I was kind of worried that I wouldn't have a small one for like detailing, but I thought ahead. Past me thought ahead to current me, and everything's working out perfectly. By the way, before I take you into the kitchen, which does have to do with the whole canvas thing, because I'm getting these canvases and I'm hoping to do other really big pieces, that's a little hint into the future of what I'm doing with my art. I am really wanting to get a canvas in here in the studio and just have it propped up, always there to kind of set the vibe. I don't know, when I'm surrounded by artsy things, I want to do art, I want to create art, so I'm hoping I can get a canvas, not a canvas, I'm hoping I can get an easel in here so that I can put my canvases in here and then just, you know, sit and paint and just embrace the practice of painting and taking my time and letting it sit there and not having to rush through things, which I'm pretty sure I've talked about already in this video a little bit. But yeah, let's go to the kitchen. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna be doing with this canvas that I just got. So we have a brand new addition to the kitchen. I finally figured out what I wanted to do in this corner. If you've been around, you'll know that I haven't really done much in this corner. I just recently did this corner at the beginning of the year. Sorry for the focusing, but now I finally have something going on here. So I don't know if you can already tell what the vibe is, but I'm going for something very vintage, very retro, very like 70s vibe. And so I got myself a bar cart, and the bar cart, as you can see, I already styled it. I just put out my spooky mugs. Obsessed with all of my spooky mugs. Not only do I have those cute ones, but I have these down here. Oops, sorry. This one has like the skull inside. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And then this one, I don't know if you can see, but it has like Halloween costumes on it. So we've got all of the fall vibes out here, and we're ready to go. But this is essentially how I styled the cart for now. I just didn't know what to do. I pulled out like these wine bottles that we've had for years just to be able to style it, and I like how it looks right now. And I also like that the inside over here has like a mirror vibe, because I was considering putting a mirror on this side, like a giant mirror above this whole situation, but I ended up not doing that. I'll tell you in a second why. And we have the mirror element here, trying to be cohesive with the textures and the pieces that I bring into the house. So yeah, it's got a cool mirror there. And I also want to shout this out, because I personally think this is cool. You can hang wine glasses from there. So very happy with this purchase. I also got this on like a long weekend sale, and I built it myself. I also built this piece myself. Let me back up. Okay. So as you can see, this is kind of like a bar cabinet, but this one, again, I'm getting like retro 70s vibes from it, because this here is glass. It's like textured glass, and it's really high quality glass, by the way, because like I said, I built it. It's heavy. But yeah, so we've got like vintage glass going on here, and as you can probably tell, we have our record player on the top. I'm sorry for all of the focusing issues. I'm not sure what's going on with my camera, but record player on the top, and then inside we have our records, of course. I do have a record stand somewhere that I got Ian. By the way, the record player and all of the records are Ian's. So yeah, this is all his stuff, but I put it out here because I think it looks good. We do have a record stand somewhere. I just need to find it. I got it for him for like a birthday or something, but yeah, we have a little record player bar cart vibe going on over here, and I just love the way that it looks. It just needs one more thing to kind of complete the space, and that's something up there. So that is where I'm going to be putting the canvas of the painting that I'm going to be working on. And I'll actually run you through some ideas that I have for several paintings that I want to work on, particularly this one because I know exactly what I want to put there. But yeah, the 20 by 24 piece is going to go over here. Maybe Ian's piece will go there as well, and we'll have a little gallery wall. We'll see. But when I said that I wasn't going to be putting a mirror over here, I planned on getting a giant mirror almost the size of this whole cabinet situation to put on top, but I figured I feel like I've been putting a lot of mirrors all over the place, so I decided instead, and this is where my biggest project is going to end up happening, I am going to get a canvas like just a couple inches smaller than these cabinets, and these cabinets are gigantic. I think they're like 80 something inches. But yeah, I'm gonna get a canvas that big and kind of just rest it on the back and kind of just have like a piece resting on the back, and it'll be a gigantic art piece, a gigantic original art piece by me. So you can see why I'm experimenting with a big canvas, big for me, on this side, because when I get comfortable with using larger canvases, this project is next, and I do know it's gonna take me a long time. Might take me like a year, but I am prepared. I'm ready for it. I'm hoping these projects are a way for me to jump right into not just the art, but the art of patience with art. I'm tired of rushing myself to finish an entire piece, start to finish, in one sitting. When I was younger, art was something I did simply for the love of it, and maybe I'll fall in love with it the way I did as first grader me did when I thought I'd be an artist when I grew up, or in high school when I would get lost in a piece blasting very emotional rock music in theory class. Who knows what will happen, but I'll take the time to find out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in next week's video.